It's a shit that hurt. We're gonna die. It's about this town that it's about this town that's like dealing with a curse where it's like, hey, when did you join Ironclad Protectors?
He just changed it.
Oh, I see. Right, we've had this conversation. um, like it's this town that's like supposedly if this kid dies, this weird kid dies, and supposedly he was like crafting this really like this sculpture, and like he like kids crafting a sculpture. He dies. Somebody goes into the kiln where the sculpture is the next day, finds the kid's ashes because that's all that's left, and the sculpture, and finds out that, and in the kid's ashes it says, "If you ever have another Halloween, someone else will die," or whatever. And so, for years, these people do not have a Halloween. And like the dude said, like the sculpture was so horrible that I almost went blind. I was terrified, and it was horrible. Wibbity wibbity wobbity woo. I rolled my. Okay, so. And it causes a problem because there's like a family. There's a guy who makes chocolate. There's a Willy Wonka in this town, and because like there's no more Halloween, and there's no more fun, which is just one time a fucking year. So it's, logically speaking, that's stupid. They're not allowed to celebrate Halloween anymore because if they do, someone else is going to die. So they're not even allowed to talk about Halloween. So
Whenever you have the chance, I need to go to town with you.
I don't know if it's a matter of I don't know what the situation is, like how this kid all of a sudden is now like it's a thing now that he's like I don't understand it. Like for what it's worth, like I guess he had just moved there, and like but his grandpa is like the guy like that used to have like the chocolate factory, and so like one of the town natives tells him the story of, yeah, like we're like this kid, he was weird and he did a thing, and now everybody, because I'm great at storytelling. um Stop coughing, it's scaring the children. Anyway, so
So this kid did this thing.
so it becomes a matter of one of the like the town natives, like the bully kid at school, it like tells him the story of like, yeah, so like stuff happened, and this is where they locked away this is where they locked away the hideous sculpture. And they say if you look at it, you'll go crazy, or even blind, or burst into flames, or your anus will fall out of your butt, put on a top hat, and dance around, and you'll be like, what? Or something like that. Probably not word for word, but you get what I'm saying.
I understand.
And so he decides that like he wants the kid to go in there and look because he's tired of hearing the tales he wants to see. And on the off chance, he wants to know what it looks like. And on the off chance that the tales are true, he's not going to look himself, and he's not going to ask his friend to look because his friend is too dumb to give a good description. So the kid runs away. And so the kid is like third generation chocolate factory. Ugh. So the kid's third generation chocolate factory. His dad like is never really around, but he's really close to his grandpa or whatever the fuck. And then there's some sex involved, mostly not. What the fuck happened? Wicked clowns ain't the only ones, nutty buddy. So after that, what ends up happening is, let's see, the grandfather's son, the dad, decides that he wants to reopen the chocolate factory because it's like we should reopen it. So he's deciding to reopen it, and he's like, I've got some German investors coming, and they're gonna like put money into this, so we can restore like the glory of this town. And they were like, what? And he was like, what better time than Halloween? And like every time he goes to say Halloween, like people are like, no, don't say it, shush, no. And so he ends up saying it. Everybody freaks out. And then, cause like the whole thing is, we can't have another Halloween or somebody will die. That's why we hide the eggs on Easter.
Have you heard that creepypasta where this guy says that he's discovered basically eternal life? Like he's discovered the secret to eternal life.
No.
Like I tell you the punchline, but on the off chance you actually find and hear yourself.
So yeah, so apparently something's happening. Like some spiritual shit. They're not religious spiritual, but they're like spiritual like undertones throughout the movie. And there's in the middle of town there's this gigantic pumpkin stack. And so everybody goes like, look what they erected in the middle of town. Cause like the night after the meeting, the town meeting, and he's telling everybody, I have an idea. And they're like, no. And he's like, no. What? Motherfucker. How, nigga? Die, nigga. Die, nigga. Survive the shots of die, nigga.
Survive the shots.
Ugh. So, the town is like freaking decked out with Halloween stuff, and they don't know why. So they're assuming that the chocolate dude put it all up, but he's saying he didn't. And there's a giant pumpkin stack in the middle of town. So Christopher Lloyd's character goes up. He's like, "It's just a pumpkin. It's just a pumpkin. Oh, Marty, it's a pumpkin." Sorry, in my head that wasn't too bad. Because he's easily one of like America's like favorite actors. That's why I was so happy to see him in Sin City 2, because I didn't expect him to be in the movie. Have you seen Sin City 2?
I have not.
You need to see that. Your man crush is in it.
I know that. That's what I plan on doing it eventually, just because of it.
Damn it, Mark! I thought that was. I really hope that I didn't kill you.
Why would you kill me?
Because I threw a grenade and it went around the corner with you, and then all of a sudden you blew up.
There was a guy.
So I'm guessing you died, and then the grenade just flung your body across the. Anyway, so the fucking giant pumpkin stack falls on Christopher Lloyd, and he dies. And then he dies because he pulled the base pumpkin out, and then the entire pumpkin stack fell on top of him. So the motherfucker dies. And so like the next day, the kid is like going home, and there's the granddad. There's Christopher Lloyd in the living room, and it's like, ah!
I'm just a ghost.
And he was like, he doesn't know that he's dead. Cause he's like he's like, I'm not dead. He's like, oh, no, Yeah. But yeah, so that happens. And it turns out that he's kind of a zombie, but not the brain eating kind, but just the
So he's
living
physically there.
Yeah, he's actually alive. Like people can see him.
Okay. But he's not just like a ghost guy. He's a zombie guy.
Yeah. No, he's like he's very physical. Like you can see and touch him.
He's supposed to look vertical from the zombie.
And so the kid asks him like, "What happened? How'd you get out of the casket?" I don't know why the kids sound like that. Why did you fall?
Why are they all like in California?
Giving you this weird like Michelangelo voice. Radical, dude. Like, yeah, so he's like, I don't know, just I woke up and I was alive, or whatever the fuck. He's saying that he said that something pulled him out of the casket. And so then they go check out the grave, and it turns out that there's no hole in the top of his casket, like in the top of his grave. So the only thing that could have gotten him out of there was something that was already underground. So for what it's worth, he's out of the goddamn casket, and he's alive. He's clearly like grayish a little.
Undead.
Yes, he's very undead. He's a ghoul. Not quite a zombie, not quite a Zambo, but he's a ghoul. I guess they gave up. We still need 4 kills, but yeah, whatever. We had all the zones. It's over. This is like the best round of Iron Banana I've had in a long time. Cause like we won a bunch of matches we won several matches last night, and then we won actually quite a few today. But I think it's because it's not just team deathmatch. Because I didn't like Kill Confirmed either. I didn't. I didn't like that shit at all. I don't know, but I'm alive. It's weird as fuck, isn't it? Like, a little bit.
Big dumb bee.
Great Scott. I didn't do great. I didn't do good at all this year. I did the worst. I did the ultimate worst. Not the ultimate. Not the worst. Splenda Daddy didn't do good at all. Well, I did better than at least 2 people on their team.
I didn't look